of becoming a seeker, entering into this journey, and so we have been understanding the fourfold practice. So this Viveka, the first discernment, will continue directly or indirectly. But I have requested you all that better to listen from the first session, this series of how to become a seeker to succeed, extract the main points from there, check how you can apply in thought, speech, and action, and then apply it day-to-day life. So the master poses a question that do we have an opportunity to live in first, that is discernment, and then dispassion. So the best way is that you talk to your clients, your friends and relations, son and the daughter, anyone. Remind, or your assistant Terry. So remind and recall when they talk about, either they talk about stress and suffering, anxiety and the challenges, or they are enjoying the pleasures of all kinds. If your intellect is available, you have a clarity, what will happen internally? You are communicating with that discernment. And if you are communicating with that discernment, my friends, you will see in a couple of weeks the life will rise very high. So what will happen? That is what we are going to now take up the second practice, that is what is dispassion. So what will happen? Your mind, while expressing, teaching, teaching and others, will become more and more aware. There are two things: clarity, understanding in the intellect, and level of our self-awareness. I believe you understand. Animals live at a lower level of self-awareness, and they do not have an intellect, so they are pre-programmed. Just see that. You have to apply that in day-to-day life. So once you start applying, you will find that such a beautiful state will come, and we will clear our doubt about dispassion also. So now understand very clearly. Some of you may have raised questions. Dispassion means aloofness. Oh, aloofness means, being sad. No, not at all. Not at all. Not at all. So now see, intellectual understanding, clarity, doubt-free knowledge is discernment, right? And behavior, attitude, response is dispassion. Now we are going to talk of the second, what is known as dispassion, vairagya. Normally in India, we have many Indian friends here. Vairagya means, going to the Himalayas, sitting there like plants and animals. No, it will not work. Becoming a monk. No. That is 100% clear. So understand, what is discernment? Intellectual understanding, clarity, doubt-free knowledge of the Eastern wisdom. And when you bring about a change in your behavior, attitude, response to the world outside is dispassion. Our friend Lara has asked a couple of questions about dispassion. No, it has nothing to do with aloofness. It is an active state, not aloofness. It is not sad or indifference. I am actively aware based on the knowledge, hence I do not react. You see that it is very active, it is very lively. There is an attitude of dispassion. I was just talking to Stephen. Now my body is exhausted, my mind has a fatigue, but I am okay. Active dispassion. Dispassion has to be active. So what happens? We have been talking about fourfold practices. Let me give you a brief. So as I said, there is a clarity, doubt-free knowledge, what is known as discernment. We have covered in few weeks. So now it has to be translated into my behavior and attitude. That is what the dispassion is. And then comes the third group of practice, which we will talk later in the future. That is known as 6 treasures, 6 inner wealth. So whatever the misalignment is left in between the behavior, attitude, and the knowledge on the other side is done by the 6 treasures. 6 inner wealth. What will happen then? You will never forget your real self. You have yet to realize it, but you will never forget. That makes us a great seeker. And once you are a seeker, you never fail in this journey of self-discovery. Yeah? I think you get it. Intellectual understanding, doubt-free knowledge. Now you live into that doubt-free knowledge and someone reacts to you. Dispassion, knowledge, behavior. Something misalignment is left. What is misalignment is left? I know I still react internally and I get upset. So that misalignment between the behavior and the knowledge is removed by the 6 inner wealth. Then what happens? Your intellect never forgets the real self. That is known as you are a seeker. You have an intense desire to you have an intense desire to continue, tread the path. I believe you are clear. We will talk in detail about this dispassion. So knowledge by discernment is already present in the mind and in the intellect, and the mind has strong likes and dislikes. They are deep rooted at the mental level. We already know it. Then what happens? Because the discernment is there, so you have a choice to react or respond. You have a choice to drop the habitual pattern and live into the higher awareness. What happens? Mind becomes empty. So those people who have been complaining, oh, my mind has a lot of thoughts, what should I do? It's your mind. But what happens when you follow these 2 steps? The mind almost remains free. You need not to worry about mind is scattered. And that will help you absorb into meditation. So first is the intellectual problem. So we deal the intellectual problem by discernment. And then comes the behavior problem. Many people say that, because if you are following, you are all seekers. That's why I'm talking little deeper. Otherwise, no, I cannot change my behavior. I do not remember. A couple of people you might have seen, they have attended and they have left. So the behavior problem is dealt deeply by the practice of dispassion. So are you clear? It has nothing to do with aloofness. It has nothing to do with sadness. It has nothing to do with keeping a big face. I'm indifferent to the things. Why you are indifferent? Who told you? You told me, so you have understood it wrongly. So, what happens now? By these processes and steps, one more point. This two practices, the discernment and the dispassion works, they are knowledge practice. I have to remember this. I have to keep in my head all the time. Once you change your behavior, how it happens? In the mind. So what will happen? That impression of changed behavior and attitude will change your brain. The brain will change your attitude. Attitude will change your personality. Personality will change your life. Internally, now you are a seeker. Then you never forget the journey of life. We discussed already that Viveka is a cognitive ability, clarity and understanding. Now, behavior expresses itself through the 6 neighbors. I talked about it. The outermost neighbor is the world outside. Yeah? Say, I like and love Lara, so my response is always full of love and wisdom. But internally, my mind has created an impression of disliking again for someone. So this behavior is going to manifest indirectly or indirectly. Look at it. How our masters are so clear about this. We simply say, I'm sorry, and react again. 10 times sorry, 10 times the same reaction. See the beauty of this journey. So, 6 neighbors brings out when there is doubt, when there is no clarity, then these 6 neighbors comes out with reactive, impulsive behavior. So now come directly, what exactly is the dispassion? How the dispassion is defined by our masters. Viraga kaho. So the master defines the absence of outward moving tendency of the mind that is looking for pleasure in the world and also in the heaven. One, and the deep insight leads to detachment, is dispassion. It all relates to my behavior. Absence of outward moving tendency of the mind. Outward moving tendency of the mind, going, for example, to the Stephen. So when this mind is going outward, it already has some impression about Stephen. That is why it is going there. For seeking pleasure in the world. And sometime we follow those great, with due respect to our priest and others, and I will send you to heaven. Don't worry, continue to pray. We don't have any idea and understanding. Heaven is a blind faith, blind belief. It does not exist. So we don't go for it. Second part of the dispassion is the deep insight. You are not fighting with your attachment or detachment. You have an insight that removes the attachment and detachment. When you were born, were you attached? So you will say, no, I'm attached to my honey. Are you attached to me? Why? Why not? Ask the question. I don't have that deeper insight and clarity. There is no need to be attached. Let me express my love and peace and happiness. I believe you are getting it. I'll take up this dispassion in a different way. So this dispassion is known as Vairagya in Sanskrit. It is neither attachment nor detachment, neither likes nor dislikes. It doesn't mean that indifference, sad. No. No. It is active, means you are aware. You are none of the six neighbors. You are a real self. And when you apply this Viveka, it becomes dispassion. What is dispassion? You understand discernment. You apply discernment. It becomes dispassion. Discernment has to become dispassion. Now see from the other point of view, the mind has by default likes and dislikes. Liking and disliking creates attachment and detachment. Why it creates attachment and detachment? By constant thinking over them. But the world is constantly changing. Who knows discernment? I just concluded one session with a beautiful woman. I told you, women are always beautiful. You need not to. So she was so much stressed and suffering that why my father, who is on a deathbed somewhere in some part of the world, I'm not revealing that, why he gave more money to my younger brother and why he gave me little money to me. Go on thinking about it. It is against dispassion. You have a money, you have a choice to give me or don't give me. Isn't it? Inquire, examine. So whatever is changing can never be me or mine. Understand this. Because whatever is changing, we put likes and dislikes, attachment and detachment on those objects and people, and then attachment and detachment becomes the craving, craving becomes the desire. And what is desire? Desire is seeking happiness outside in any object and people and things, which is not possible at all. So through the discernment, I understand the constant changing nature of the world of people, objects and things. And that becomes the dispassion. Stop talking to me, thank you. So you are in dispassion. People change. People change. No, my honey should not change. Ask yourself, have you ever changed? Yes, I have changed, but my honey should not change. Are you getting it? So I am imposing something. When you impose something through your mind, it will lead to the seeking pleasure in the world, and that is not there. The mind is confused. You are not in discernment. You are not in dispassion. That is responsible for your sorrow and suffering. You are responsible for your sorrow and suffering. Nobody else in this world. That understanding needs to be understood. Are you getting it? Neither attachment nor detachment, but the absence of them. That is how the dispassion is defined. So can you see the deeper insight by our great masters? Because, I reacted against you and then I said, I'm sorry. But the mind retains that impression. That impression is known as passion. And that by passion continues even if we become old, 80 and 90 years old. I'm dying. I call my son, No, I have left $1 million for you. I'm still attached. I can give you a lot of examples like this later, so when you practice, Viveka continues and dispassion grows within the mind of a seeker. You're not affected by it. You're not running after the pleasure. And when you are giving an importance to the pleasure, this is what is known as the impurity of the mind. Because my mind is constantly thinking. That is why I don't succeed in meditation. During the practice of meditation, those impressions of the passion returns. So, dispassion. But dispassion is the result of discernment. Remember. So that we can have behavior and the knowledge, they align together. Look at the in-depth, deeper aspects of psychology here. Now understand, dispassion is a state of mind that discovers that pleasure is not happiness. That reaction is not the only way. I have other options available. Your mind might be thinking, I reacted there last week, I should not have done it. That's a good to become a seeker. It happened to me, but I don't know whether it is happening to you or not. So even a slight reaction is not happening, that makes the mind impure. When Viveka is applied to pleasure, we discover that happiness is within me. So mind drops that passion. It says, thank you very much. You hate me, thank you very much. You love me, thank you very much. And when we live into that state of discernment and dispassion, we find how the knowledge and the behavior go together. How the knowledge and the attitude go together. You want to get the things done. You may have a question and a doubt. But how to get the things done? To get the things done when somebody is not listening? Then you rehearse to be angry. Don't become angry. You have a total control over the mind. You have taken over the mind. You have the intellect. Why you are not listening to me? You should listen to me. Well, you can shout, but internally you are calm. You have a perfect alignment between knowledge and the behavior. That is the beauty of these two steps. Discernment and dispassion. Last thing that you should also understand, that I will take up in detail, when the discernment and dispassion are together, there is a possibility that 99% you have a freedom from the fear and insecurities, and freedom from the sorrow and the suffering. You get some insight deeper. So when you have that insight, that inspires you to continue the journey and enter into the higher state of meditation. So from today, Terry, let your assistant do something nasty. Tell your mind why to react. We are getting there. You have told me a couple of times. That's why I'm reminding you. And you are open. That's why I'm pointing you. So once we understand that, look at the journey of the life. Okay, let us start our practice now. Eyes are closed. Eyes are closed and mind looking inside. Do you see the power of discernment and dispassion in the practice in the first days? Body is steady. Why the body should move when the mind is going within? And why not the body should move when there is no dispassion? There is a passion. Look at it. You can translate these things into a real life practice. Very good. So body is steady, make it comfortable. And even if the body moves, when you are fully conscious, no worries. I used to tell people that this journey, this self, lies in, it's a paradox logic. Keep your body totally steady, then only you will succeed. But if you are keeping the body steady by force, by habit, by reaction, nothing you can achieve. So what is lacking? Dispassion. Understand. Once you have a clarity of understanding, that means discernment. And what is the result? Dispassion towards the body. That is what Patanjali explains in the definition of asana. All these great teachers have spoken the same thing in a different way. So, body is steady, my friend. My friends, the mind is looking inside. Now visualize you are in Namaste Mudra. Both the hands are in Namaste Mudra in front of your rib cage. Both the thumbs are touching the sternal notch and looking deep inside. At the center of the palm, that is the space. Mind should be like this all the time. Why? Because mind is mirror. Check it. Is your mind mirror now? In that state of mind being a mirror, I can easily ask the intellect to know the real self. Another meaning of Namaste is not me. What is that not me? Whatever we know about ourselves at the behavior level, personality level. That personality is a mask. We already know that persona. The word comes from persona. It is our apparent personality that contains all the behavior, attitude, high impulses. And we say, not me. How? By awareness. See what happens. So you do not repent what reaction you have, and you do not inflate yourself what good thing you have, because they both belong to the personality. We want to discover our real self. Remind your mind. Ya Devi Sarvabhuteshu Shanti Rupena Sanstita Namastasyai 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 Namo Namah. Look deep inside, either the center of the palm or inside the heart. You are seated as permanent peace within me. How do I know it? Namaste. What is Namaste? Not me. You are applying discernment. Not me, then what I am? Peace. That is the beauty of this step. Now in that state, we reach it by being comfortable. Now being comfortable becomes the second step. It does not become the preparatory step. For seeker, every step is deep. We are always ready. So why to have a preparatory step? So we go a little deeper. Look at the neck joint. Be there. Feel sensation, comfort, and steadiness. After that, space. Again recheck. Namaste, not me. Discernment is there. No behavior belongs to me, it belongs to the mask, persona. I have to separate it. Now the thoughts are coming, let it come. So being comfortable and being carefree go together. Look at the shoulder joints. Be there. Feel awareness, sensation, comfort, and steadiness. Space. Space is there. Either you can see in the center of the palm, Namaste, or inside the heart. The humility. How the humility comes? By separating not me, not at the intellectual level, it is at the behavior level. My master used to say, humility without wisdom is hypocrisy. So move the mind on the entire body, from all the joints of the body, and every time the mind goes to the joints, experience sensation, comfort, and steadiness, then the space, then Namaste, not me. You are living into that space. Because you are living into that space, the thought rises and falls at the level of your surface mind. You are totally different from it. So you are also at the state of being carefree. Now see how it works, being carefree. Discernment, you have a clarity. What is that clarity? Mind is a salesman. Okay, thank you. So you are not attached to any thought and feeling. Understand it clearly. Knowledge and behavior go together. Your body will not move. You will not be affected by the craziest thought, even if it enters into the mind. Why, salesman? Why standing across the road watching the traffic? Why? Birds flying in the sky, nothing happens to the space. You see how the preparatory steps becomes the deeper step? So when you are in that state, active steps means you have a total control over active steps that you practice in meditation. It is not swayed by the impulsive mind and mind that causes the behavior. Why I said so, we are going to do quick, short, gentle breathing from the rib cage. Expansion and contraction should be rhythmic. Why it is rhythmic? So the past impulse and reaction should not change its rhythm. Why? You maintain awareness. But why? To change the mind. That is what we discussed today. So let us start. Breathing, quick, short, and gentle breath from both the nostrils. Expansion and contraction of the chest continues, and the mind is deep inside, either inside the heart or inside the head in the space. You have total control over the driving. Your body doesn't move, only the chest and only the rib cage expands and contracts. As if you see the rest of the body remain steady. It raises your awareness. Continue. Just as if you are playing, you're enjoying. It's a play and a fun. Don't make it a big issue. Don't press so hard. Pressing means passion. Passion means likes and dislikes. So your mind has started thinking with reference to attachment and detachment. That is why we are not able to sustain the practice. Continue. Quick, short, and gentle breath. And also enjoy that moment. Don't press, don't move into passion. So you are aware fully. You are not allowing the mind to go back to its past impression and be, oh, let me do it little by force. No. With awareness and attention. That is going to change the brain. and stop it. Let me explain you briefly. When you rate in the rhythm of this breathing changes, it changes because of the mind. Mind says, no, I'm totally done, and something happening. Or lot of thoughts, they return with the past impression. Did you realize this is coming from our behavior? When that stops by regular practice, what happens? Your behavior starts changing from inside to outside. So today we will do the nyasa, start breathing little deep, silent and slow. So you already know the deep, silent, slow breathing is car. Mind is the driver. So as you inhale, move the mind inside the right arm from the right side of the shoulder to the fingertips. Mind is moving inside into the highway, that is the space, and you are dropping Shanto Hum. As you exhale, mind is moving from the fingertips to the shoulder. Inside, car is the driver, car is the breath, breath is the car, mind is the driver, highway is the space inside, and destination is Shanto Hum, means I am the peace. You are doing it at this time inside the right arm. Again, you are checking the rhythm. Do the same thing inside the left arm. Breathing is not very deep, so that it causes some anxiety to the mind. It's not very short, so that the mind keeps thinking of the past. It is in between. Who does this? Your discernment of the intellect. And the mind is doing the practice. Be very clear. We have a clear distinction between intellect and the mind. So what happens? It becomes a cruise, driving on a cruise. Now inside the right leg. Breath is moderately deep, silent and slow. The mind is moving with inhalation and exhalation in the highway, that is the inner space, dropping Shanto Hum. And Shanto Hum? Do you still remember the infinite space? Good space is what the peace is. Our masters have defined What a beautiful state you all are in. Continue, my friends. Now inside the left leg. And now moving the mind inside the spine. You may find as you inhale, the mind is simply descending, flowing like a water from the higher to the lower level, from the top of the head to the tailbone dropping, Shantoham. In Kundalini meditation, we have a descending and ascending process. So we start with the descending. That is one of the rare practices of Kundalini meditation. And one of the steps is like this. And ascending is, as you exhale, the mind moves from the tailbone to the top of the... It is an ascending process. You've already seen ascending is demanding effort. It has to leave the survival instinct at the base of the first chakra. It has to leave the desire at the second chakra. It has to leave the greed and attachment and detachment at the third center. But we are not going there. The best thing is, we have already settled. Mind is already within. And when it is living within, ascending and descending can be consciously done. So you see that now, move the mind. As you inhale, move the mind from the crown of the head to the belly button, Shantoham. As you exhale, from the belly button to the crown of the head. You will find the state of your consciousness changes. It drops the survival instinct and the desire instinct, because we are starting belly to crown of the head, crown of the head to the belly. Maybe your breath may become little shorter. Adjust it. Now, make it little shorter from the crown of the head to the heart, Shantoham. You may find the breath is almost become normal. Let it be. I appreciate you all. What a good. Now leave the breath. Just drop inside, Shantoham. Normal breath. When the breath goes in, you become aware of inside the forehead and the space and drop Shanto. Breath returns, Shanto. Shanto. Non-verbal dropping. I know, I believe you know when I say non-verbal. I see you, I know your name, and still I recognize you. Non-verbal recognition. Continue the journey. We will share our experiences after the journey. Now do nothing, remain as you are in the state of doing nothing. If I am a part of the existence, that existence must reveal itself. Must. I'm a part. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Bring your mind on the right hand, your mind on the left hand. Lift your both the palms, place it on your eyes. Open the eyes inside the palms. Know your experiences. Bring the hands down. How are you, Terry? Perfectly normal.
It's like I had two different experiences going on at the same time. One was in the space with my intellect, I guess.
Yeah.
Or something. And one was something, felt like something was pulling against me physically.
Yeah. That is what we have understood, the power of discernment and dispassion. Knowledge, behavior. Knowledge, behavior. So you recognize it. This is a great thing. So when you recognize it, you can get rid of it. We normally don't recognize. Then we say how we can get rid of it. Understand the way the masters of the Eastern wisdom has created these things. How are you, David and Jerry?
Very nice. The nasa today was very deep, and I had extended moments of joy that were really powerful.
Beautiful. That's a deeper experience. How are you, Jerry?
Sir, it's a journey today. I felt initially seated in the space, and then when we brought the mind to the body, I was aware, or the mind was aware that the body wasn't in the space, or wasn't the space, right? Different, the separation.
Yeah.
And then a little bit less so with the breath. And then in the Nyasa and the Shantoham, the space and everything became melded together.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
And it stayed.
That's a deeper experience. Melted means that now this mind is not going after it. A kind of dispassion is there. Compare these experiences with other experiences which we consider so deep. I have a vision and the colors, I saw God and goddesses. Compare that with this state. How are you, Lara?
I am good. It was really quiet. I was able to follow the instructions, but I was kind of not really hearing you.
Good.
At the same time.
Good. Let the time come, you stop hearing me and you are there. Yeah. That is another deeper state. Very good. How are you, Vaibhav? You look little different on your face, I don't see it. Whether I'm seeing it or...
Yes, sir. So it was like I just looking at how my awareness is going, and when I realize that what I have to do and where my awareness is, then it drops that thing, and then I come back again.
It's a good point.
And again, I can start from that point, and then it's totally new at that point.
It's a very good point. I believe you all have noted. Either you can say where my awareness is or where my mind is running. So the moment I am aware of it, the mind stops running. There is the point of dispassion. Well, I'll be talking about this. Beautiful. How are you, Stephen?
I'm good. It was unbelievably fast. I was in a space of just within myself, I could feel just from the breath everywhere I was within my body. I just felt the energy. And I was flowing with it, which created a feeling of relaxation in an absolute empty space.
Empty space.
Yeah, it was something I needed today more than ever. So
Good.
Thank you.
Good. How are you, Kristen? You see, everyone shares their experiences, so we should recognize and accept and see, am I into that state? So your own experience will tell you, yes, I'm into that state, but this is how I expressed. My expression may be different. So how are you, Christina?
That was wonderful. Thank you. I really enjoy the breath work, which is so awesome because that was so hard for me in the past. And I've been trying to tune in with my intuition a little more throughout the weeks. And today, during the practice, I feel like I almost was ahead of you, or like I thought that I thought that we were going to the next thing, but I was like, nope. And then all of a sudden, then you were saying that. So I just thought it was cool that
Beautiful.
being able to just be present and just starting to feel. Yeah.
Yes, you are changing, you are transforming. How are you, Antoinette?
That was wonderful. Thank you. Deep relaxation, lost the awareness of my breath, and just brightness, just total re-energizing for my body.
Beautiful. What a beautiful experiences you all have. What about you, Deepak? I miss him, or he cannot say that he misses me, but...
Yes, sir. It's a good, sometimes the breathing makes me feel more uncomfortable. Fast breathing.
Yeah, fast breathing. So you, whenever I give that practice, make it slow.
Mm-hmm.
I know you have a challenges with the lungs, but you do it slow.
Yes. So sometimes you feel uncomfortable with the fast.
Yeah. I could see. So you make it, so later on you were relaxed?
Okay. Yeah, after that.
Okay, remember, discernment leads to dissipation. So whatever the misalignment is there between... Yeah, I'm talking to everyone. But you are good listening. So, when there is a gap between the mind and the intellect, that is filled by the 6 inner wealth that we are going to cover. And once all the 3 steps are done, 4th step is intense desire remains alive. That flame of aspiration about the real self always remains alive. It can never be extinguished. So once you find that, you are the greatest seeker. Any question? No questions? So thank you very much. We will meet again.
Yeah. Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Namaste.
Namaste.
Thank you.
Thank you.